the Hollow Girl character came about in quite an interesting way. It started out as the usual red-blooded male who is trying to write a story that he would be happy to illustrate. So that means girl, guns, gangsters. Yes, sounds like fun. But no, because I was a little bit ashamed of myself for thinking that way. I've done those sort of characters before. Halo slipping from a glimpse of hell was that character. She was sarcastic, she gave up the funny one-liners whilst firing off 2 pistols. Great, except it was a betrayal to what the original idea behind the character was, and at the end I even put her in a stupid skin-tight outfit and really sort of pissed on my own creation, if you'll pardon the expression. So with Hollow Girl I didn't want to do that. I took that original idea of the girl with guns and then tried to work on desexualizing these elements. So I dressed her in black clothes that were practical and the kind of things that a normal teenager would wear, albeit a emo sort of teenager. And then I gave her a white mask, and that was the thing that completely changed the character. The white mask took away, well, it hid the pretty face for one thing, and more importantly, it dehumanized her. So suddenly what we are faced with is a character who is more of a unknown quantity. And I even went as far as, well, forget the witty dialogue. If she speaks, she's not speaking in her voice. Essentially, she is a medium who allows spirits to come into her, and then they use her as a vessel to go off and get revenge, which sounds a lot more pompous than it actually is in the book, which is really just straight revenge story and then, oh, a ghost. So that's what I wanted. She doesn't talk in her voice, she talks in the voice of the ghost that's within her. And that's where the idea of is she crazy? Is this some weird form of dissociative identity disorder or schizophrenia? Or is she genuinely seeing ghosts? And that's the ambiguity I wanted to introduce to the story, and I think it's what makes the character interesting and different to other characters. The irony is, though, that I never wanted to create a female character that had no personality and was purely about appearance, but in a way that's what I've done. I've created a character where she has no personality because she is pretty much only what the spirits inside her make her, and her most interesting aspect is that she looks kind of cool. So, okay, in one way mission failed, but in another way mission successful, surely. It's not about sexuality, it's just about looking scary as hell. Hollow Girl was, at least in part, my reaction to the ongoing debate that's being played out on the internet every day about how women are portrayed in comics. I wanted to create a character that was not just another spandex-clad beauty, but had something more substantial to her personality, to her character. I wanted something that was more deeply psychological and twisted, more in that kind of Batman, Punisher sort of vein. I'm a teacher, and many of my female students, many of the girls, they love reading comics, they love Batman, and I was wondering, well, who can they get behind? What characters can they relate to? Which female characters are there for them? And that's starting to change in comics. You are getting, like, Batgirl has been recreated recently. But I was looking at characters that I respected, female characters like Judge Anderson and Harley Quinn, and they still rely heavily on sexuality to sell them to the largely male audience. I wanted to create a character who was visually interesting without it being about sex particularly. It was more about the mystery and indeed the darkness of the character.